I remember the exact moment my phone lit up. A single text, 8 words that cut cleaner than a blade. No place for you. The wedding is for more important people. Her name at the top of the screen, my wife's sister. The one who used to hug me every Thanksgiving, who once asked me for help with her rent, who called me brother. And now? She erased me with one sentence. I laughed, not out of joy, but recognition. Betrayal has a sound, and that night it sounded like her fingers tapping those keys. There was a time I believed in family. I married into theirs thinking I'd found a second home. Her father shook my hand, her mother whispered she was glad her daughter had someone steady. And her sister, the one who had just exiled me with a text, once toasted to my loyalty at our anniversary dinner. But loyalty only matters to people who understand its weight. I learned, slowly, that their words were decoration, their affection, conditional. The first cracks showed when her sister began planning her wedding. Suddenly, I was background noise, a prop to be ignored. I'd ask simple questions, get tight smiles. We'll handle it. I was being cut out piece by piece, and no one said it aloud. Until that text. The old me might have begged. The old me might have shown up anyway, gritting my teeth through another performance. But I wasn't old me anymore. I had been studying them for years, watching the way they maneuvered, the way they dismissed people they thought beneath them. I didn't rage, I didn't cry. I booked a luxury villa in the Caribbean instead. Oceanfront, private pool, personal chef. If they wanted me absent, I would vanish spectacularly. I left my wife's sister on red. No reply, no confrontation, just silence. Silence is louder than anything. On the plane, I thought about all the small betrayals that led here. The way my wife's family treated me like a convenient accessory, useful only when they needed money or a favor. How they laughed a little too hard at my mistakes, and how her sister always found ways to remind me I was lucky to be included. Lucky. That word turned in my stomach. I wasn't lucky. They were. They just hadn't realized it yet. The plan was simple. Let them feel my absence. People like them thrive on control. My silence would be chaos. The morning of the wedding, I stretched on a sunbed, the Caribbean breeze kissing my skin. I sipped a cocktail, checked the time, and smiled. Right then, they would be posing for photos, waiting for me to appear in the background where they thought I belonged. But I was gone. And then, like clockwork, the collapse began. My phone lit up. First, 1 missed call. Then 3. Then 10. By evening, 130. Her sister, her mother, my wife. Texts stacked on top of each other. Where are you? This is a disaster. Please, we need you. Need me. That was the word they'd avoided for years. I didn't answer. But I read every message, savoring them like chapters in a book I already knew the ending to. Later, I found out what happened. The best man got drunk too early. The caterer double-booked and never showed. The venue lost power. And the final blow? Her sister's fiancé discovered messages on her phone minutes before the ceremony. Messages that weren't meant for him. The wedding collapsed before it even began. And where was I? On a balcony in the Caribbean, glass in hand, watching the ocean swallow the horizon. When my wife finally got through to me, her voice was frantic, broken. They're saying it's your fault. You cursed it by not being here. Why didn't you come? I let her speak. I let her unravel. Then I told her the truth. You didn't want me there. You made sure of it. I gave you exactly what you asked for. Silence. I could almost hear her realizing the trap she'd walked into. Revenge doesn't always need fire. Sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's nothing at all. I didn't sabotage the wedding. I didn't expose her secrets. I simply walked away. And that was enough to let everything crumble under its own weight. They thought I was expendable, that I had no place. But the truth revealed itself in the wreckage. I had been the glue, the balance, the steady hand that kept their chaos from devouring them. Remove me, and the collapse was inevitable. When I flew back a week later, I didn't return to them. I returned to myself, stronger, cleaner, lighter. They still call sometimes, not to apologize, people like them never do, but to pull me back into their orbit. I let the calls ring. My revenge was never about destroying them. It was about showing them what life looks like without me. And I know every time they remember that wedding day, they'll remember my absence, the silence, the missing piece they mocked until it was gone. That is my justice. That is my peace. And I wouldn't trade that cocktail by the ocean for anything.